Today I'm going to show you how to take a handoff, how to carry a football, how to catch a football, and then I'm going to tell you about some of the best players in the NFL. Sam? Alright. Okay, hold it like I'm about to get a handoff from you. So when you take a handoff, you want to have a big space for the quarterback to put it in, and you want to keep your inside elbow up, because if your inside elbow is down, you might run into him. And then you hold it with two hands when you're going through the line. And then when you get out in the open field, you're going to put it in one hand and you're going to hold it as high up as you can in your armpit. And you're going to keep your hand around the nose of the football. And depending on what sideline you're running on, if you're running on the right sideline, you're going to want to keep it in your right hand so you can stiff arm. And then if you're running on the left sideline, you want to keep it in your left hand.
And it's harder to fumble.
Yeah, it's harder to fumble, and if it's knocked out, it'll probably just roll out of bounds and your team gets to keep the ball. You can sit down. And then, now I'm going to show you how to catch a football. You never want to catch it with your body. You always want to just catch it with your hands. And you want to make a triangle with your forefingers and your thumbs so that the nose of the ball will fit right in there so you can catch it. Or if the ball is a lower pass, you're going to want to make like a cradle with your hands so you can catch it and bring it up. And there's one kind of tough spot, which is about right here, where you don't know if you should cradle it or use the triangle. You never want to try and catch it with one hand unless it's completely necessary. You always want to try and use both hands to catch it. Yeah. And then alright, before I read you some of the best players and their stats, I'm going to explain some of the terminology. Rushing yards are when the running back gets the football, it's how many yards he runs, and if he's tackled behind the line of scrimmage, he's going to get negative yards toward his stats. And then a sack is where the defender tackles the quarterback before he throws the ball. A fumble is where the offensive player drops the ball or gets hit out of his hands. Receptions are pretty much how many catches somebody has. And then interceptions are when the ball is thrown to someone on the offense and the defense catches it. The ball is then turned over to the other team. Now, some of the best players. To me, the best player that's ever been in the NFL is Jerry Rice. He was a wide receiver for the 49ers. He had 22,895 receiving yards. He was in the NFL for 19 years. He had 197 receiving touchdowns and 1,549 receptions. And then there's running back Emmitt Smith, who played for the Cowboys. His carries, he had 4,409 carries, 18,355 rushing yards, 164 touchdowns, and he was in the NFL for 15 years. And then there's quarterback Joe Montana, who also played for the 49ers around the same time Jerry Rice did. And he had 40,551 passing yards. He threw 273 touchdowns. He was in the NFL for 16 years. And then there's tight end Tony Gonzalez, who played for the Atlanta Falcons, and he just retired, I think, last year. He had a total of 15,127 receiving yards. He was in the NFL for 17 years, had 111 touchdowns, and had 1,325 receptions. And then there's linebacker Ray Lewis, who played for the Baltimore Ravens. He had 1,336 tackles, 41 sacks, 31 interceptions, and he forced 17 fumbles and was in the NFL for 17 years. He just retired 3 years ago, I think. Today I've shown you how to take a handoff, how to carry a football, how to catch a football, and I've talked to you about some of the best football players and their statistics.